Gonna go charge the car today and making a stop by Starbucks. Might actually do 2 trips today, but we'll see. Wanted to make a video. I haven't filmed in a long time, but wanted to actually talk about something. I'm doing this for a very specific reason, but before that, I want my coffee. Let's go get it. Alright, got my coffee, let's go. I might actually go with straight coffee after I come back. I will see you guys on Santana Row in a few seconds. For real? That is disgusting. Really, people? Most people don't know I love cars, but I don't install my own modifications, although I do hope to learn someday. I've always been the information type, a feeler kind of type, and by feeler I mean I like to drive, experience, throw cars around. That includes both front wheel drive and rear wheel drive. I'm making this video because I recently went from being someone who is completely scared of ripping apart any part of a car to someone who became really curious and willing to go through the learning process of taking something apart. Long story short, because of COVID and because of all the wildfires, I've learned to learn the process of something, even if it means to fail. Even if you failed, it's not exactly a failure. You still learned the process. You still learn how to take something apart, and it would be even better if you could put it back together. Whatever you're fixing, even if you didn't fix it, that's a fail. But in general, as a whole, it's not a failure because you learned the process. And ever since I was young, I've been really into cars. The first sports car I saw was, I think, a 2005 or 2006 Nissan 350Z. That was somewhere in between 6th and 8th grade. All throughout that time period, up until my junior year of high school, I've always really been into details. I knew every single model from every car brand, not like now where there's, 5 different SUVs, 3 different sedans from, Lexus, for example. Still kind of keeping up to date with them, but up until high school, junior year, I got a 2000 New Edge V6 Mustang. I wanted to modify it because I wanted to go fast, and back then I was clueless about not being able to squeeze out power as easily as if you were to go with the V8 Mustang. But I just wanted power. I wanted to feel cool, and I bought a cold air intake and a short throw shifter handle. Not even a short throw shifter, but a short throw shifter handle. The handle itself took me like an hour to do. It was just removing the center console. I don't exactly remember like the specific details, but it was only removing the console and bolts, a few bolts. I don't remember exactly how many bolts, but it was to unbolt a few bolts and then take off the factory shifter handle and then just slapping the aftermarket on and all that. And I thought that would actually make the throws a lot shorter. In reality, it didn't. That was a waste of money, but the bigger project was the cold air intake. I wish I'd gotten a video of it back then. As we all know, 90s kids, you guys all know the best video quality we had back then was 720p. Maybe not even. I think it may have even been 480p or even 240. I'm not even too sure. But some videos nowadays still on YouTube play in 240 and 480p. I'm pretty sure I did get some video footage of it. I'm gonna have to check. If not, then I'm probably gonna have to screen record off of YouTube or something. What was supposed to be a 30 to 45 minute job ended up taking me like 5 hours. 4 hours from when I got out of class at 3 up until roughly 7, and I actually had to call one of my good friends come over and help me on it because he was much stronger than I was, and one of the difficulties was the part came with rubber couplings. I don't exactly know what they're called, but it's the rubber piece that basically cups over the lip of the tube of the cold air intake. And for that generation Mustang, I don't know if it's for all cold air intakes. It might be. We had to cup one into the tube of the cold air intake and then cup the other side onto the throttle body. The rubber cup would just not grasp over the tube, so what we ended up doing was we actually had to heat it up with the microwave, and it finally went on. So that was the end of the modification. Afterwards, I sold the Mustang and I got a 2012 Lexus IS250. That car, I went through a lot of exhaust setups and I got some lowering springs with it. I didn't install my lowering springs either. I had 3 friends, actually. I drove the car over to a friend's house. I had 3 people helped me install the springs for me. I had no idea what they were doing. We ended up putting the front ones for the back and the back ones for the front. And it was really funny because when we put the car down, it ended up being the backside riding lower than the front side. So the car was basically like this. I was thinking, no, I'm not driving the car like this. It's going to be way too dangerous. So we spent another like 1 or 2 hours swapping the sides, and that was the end of that. I've never been a mechanically inclined person, but one day a few weeks ago, I was watching this one guy I follow on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Instagram. He has some pretty nice cars. He was trying to change the tires on his car. He wanted to go to 2 to 3 day track days, and he said for that car the tires don't last long. They only last a few sessions, which means if you wanted to go on track days that happen over multiple days, he would have to switch the tires themselves. Now, because of COVID, there might be a way around this, but he said he didn't want to bring a technician with him. The best thing he could do for himself was to watch videos and basically learn as he went. He was successful. So after that, I was thinking, well, if he could do that, why can't I do it? What does that place me? My car it's worth nothing at all compared to his car. And I was thinking, well, if he has the balls to work on his car, where does that place me? Since my driver's side window has not been going down for whatever reason, I just decided, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure there's a tutorial somewhere about it on YouTube. There are a lot of tutorials. And I watched at least 3 different videos from 3 different people. I was thinking, even though these 3 people are mechanically inclined, they went really in depth. And I was thinking, well, if 3 people can do it, what's the difference between me and them? Second importantly, I don't know, whatever, was that they all have their different processes of how they took apart the door, but all they're very similar, and the parts, just the processes all look the same. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I could do whatever they're doing, more than likely my steps and what I'm seeing will be the same as them. So one day I specifically woke up super early just to do this project. Got all my tools, because I bought a lot of tools back then when I worked on the Mustang. Got all of my tools out, and I just started ripping them off the piece bit by bit, or piece by piece. Guess what? It was the same exact thing. And long story short, I failed. I was not able to fix the window, but I guess the whole time I never saw it as a failure. Sure, I wasn't able to fix my window, but I was able to learn the process. I learned how my door comes apart, how to put it back, how my door works. That to me was more important than acknowledging or sulking over the fact I failed to fix my window. Now, if I had to send my car to a shop and pay them to fix it, I would not care about the cost at all. This is a one-time thing. If there's anything else that breaks in my door that has anything to do with the window, or in fact anything, there's a chance I can do it myself now that I know how the door comes apart. That to me is already a victory. Learn the process. I know the process now. In terms of the window fixing, I'm gonna give it a few more times. That's also what sparked my interest on wanting to learn more. Same day, I actually went to attempt to fix a doorknob in our house, but then I realized I can't fix it because I don't have the tools and I don't have the knowledge. The latch of the doorknob is misaligned with the hole of the other side. No matter if I were to go out and buy another doorknob, which I don't need to, we already have a new doorknob at home, it's not going to fix the problem because the hole itself is misaligned with the other side. I think it's because of COVID, and I think it's because of the fact that I've now come to realize that cost or money spent is not the issue. The more important lesson, or the more valuable lesson, is learn the process. Because if you learn the process of ripping something apart, being able to put it back, you can put that skill set towards something else. You will learn how the thing actually works. I think that, that's a big deal to me, because now when it comes to car modifications, if I were to ever, get an aftermarket exhaust, modify my steering wheel, YouTube is such a mainstream platform now that there is literally everything on YouTube. I can spend, a few hours on watching a few different tutorials on, say, how to do an oil change. I know how to do an oil change, and I don't know how to do an oil change. You should know the difference by now after watching what I've talked about so far. Oil change, aftermarket steering wheel, maybe even suspension. I've also been looking into how to fix some parts on my parents' car. Some parts are really easy. Mechanic shops and the dealerships want to charge up the butt to just fix a small tiny part. If I could learn the process on YouTube, I can just buy the part, even though I'm not going to be able to buy it at wholesale, but I can buy the part from, say, a dealership or like an aftermarket company, come back home, if anything, buy the tools, right, and change it out myself, because at the end of the day, the tools, the part, depending on what part it is, it's going to only cost me $200. Whereas if I were to bring it to the dealership or some mechanic shop, they're going to charge me a few $100. My reason for making this video is to say, don't be afraid to go out and just try stuff, because at the end of the day, even if you fail, you're not failing. At least you attempted, you tried, and you learned something. 5 minutes left on the charging station. I hope you guys got my main point. I love taking apart my car, or at least my door, and I'm actually really looking forward to taking apart more parts on my car, even if I fail, because to me it's it's fun now. It's really fun because I get to learn. Charging is complete. I'm gonna grab another piece of tissue now that I know how disgusting people are. I'm not trying to touch the charging port with if I can manage to. This is genuinely disappointing. Now I'm gonna head to Best Buy because I'm gonna see if they have any HDD USB or USB-C readers. Gonna be taking apart my laptop, see if I can salvage any data on there. My laptop fried. I actually just came down one floor and I spotted this really clean TV, and this is a Tesla or a Lotus. I think it's a Lotus. It's a ground floor. I don't know how long I can be here for, but let's see if they have what I want. That was a bust. Best they had were external hard drives, which I was not looking for. Geek Squad was completely flooded with appointments. I was able to ask one person, and they didn't know of any readers or adapters, and he told me that it is an Amazon case. I asked him if he had any knowledge of being able to bypass the GPU, boot up the Mac that way. He said, unless if I knew the terminal or the single user mode commands, then that would be possible, but neither of us had the knowledge of doing so. So that was a bust. I'm gonna end the vlog here. This car is so dirty. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the roof line and partially the hood. Actually, I don't even know if I can call this a hood because this thing doesn't have an engine. So I'm not too sure if I can officially and technically call this a hood. Technically it's a frunk and trunk back there. Look at that tint, or that thin layer of dust. My god. Apparently it's also supposed to rain this coming weekend, so have to take the 3 to the wash, RX also to the wash. I'll wash for the Miata as well. I don't know when was the last time I ever washed that thing. Stay safe. I will see you guys later. I guess this will be a 2-day vlog because I decided to take my own car out, but getting Starbucks first. I didn't get my reserve coffee last week. I came to the only reserve coffee, I guess, in my area, which is here in Cupertino, and my sunglasses are fogging up. I feel it would only be right to end this vlog by displaying or presenting my daily. The other day was with the Tesla. Today it's gonna be with the Miata, but I will talk to you guys in a second. I'm gonna go to Santana Row because it's one of the best places actually to make videos. Gonna go in, get my coffee, and I will see you guys in a second. Got my coffee, and to tell the other people, if you have the needs to, that you're drinking reserve coffee, they actually have this special cup for reserve only. And I was recommended a new one, and it's actually pretty good. Thank you for your recommendation. It tastes really good. This is my 1993 Mazda Miata. It's a 1993 5-speed. For those who know Miatas, it's a 1.6, and it's funny because I plastied it the whole thing. And what I didn't realize is the back plate actually uses a different Allen wrench. These license plates, in order to remove them, they aren't held in by nuts and bolts. They're actually held in by Allen wrenches. The back ones actually require a different size than the front ones. I'm just gonna do a quick walk around because if I had to render the gouge and blur or whatever to cover up the plate, it's gonna take a long time to render. So this is my 93 5-speed, originally red. One day, about 1-2 years ago, I don't remember, but he took my car and plasti dipped it as a surprise to me. Took my car from my house, drove it to his place, and just did a quick plasti dip job. He didn't even cover up any of the wheels, nothing, and that is, well, not, you can't see it, but some of the front plate is actually covered by the plasti dip. Now, with this car, it was originally supposed to be a backup. I had other plans back in college to go down to LA and go to school, and at that time I had my other daily, which was actually the 2015 Lexus IS 250 F Sport. Now, with this vehicle, I bought it as is. Nothing on the car, performance or handling related, was bought by me. The car came as is. There are lowering springs on both sides, anti-sway bars for the rear. The plasti dip wheels, the trunk, the whole body was done by my friend. I've actually already gone through a lot of outtakes on this, but I would like to thank Sony and all the judges for this opportunity. Actually, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have went through a few videos I actually have uploaded onto YouTube from way back then. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it was, if I remember correctly, actually I'll check the videos anyways. I think it was mid-2012, and my god, I sounded so cringe back then. It felt great, it felt surreal going through all the videos I filmed back then. It also reminded me, one of the reasons why I'm, doing vlogs in the first place, it's that when I am filming my current daily life right now, if I were to bring up a certain event that happened in the past, I can go back and try to find the footage, and if I have it, be able to insert the clips into here, like what I did in this vlog. And I just simply think that, it's really cool. To other people, it may not, but to me, it felt really cool to be able to do that. To me, it's kind of like a flashback, if you will. I'd also like to congratulate all the 8 winners. I know we all worked really hard in our own ways on filming our vlog. This is my 1993 NA 5-speed Miata. I'm a car enthusiast and a photographer, and I am from San Jose, California.